All right, thanks so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. We're going to be talking about leveraging AI agents to return joy to maintainers. Who loves maintainers? Raise your hand. Everyone, good. As well as making the web a little more accessible. My name is Justin Dorfman. I do community and DevRel at SourceGraph. I've been in the open source community for 14 years. I've done code and non-code contributions to jQuery, Z-Shell, Bash, Bootstraps, the CNCF, and many other projects and organizations throughout the years. I'm on the board of I'm on the board of directors at the Open Source Collective and a micro solderer and newsletter author. So as I said, in 14 years, I've had an obsession with helping open source maintainers. I think about it every day. I literally have to. It is a part of me. I'm so obsessed that I built a critical FOSS health dashboard. It tracks important open source projects powering the internet using metrics like last commit and active contributors over 90 days. I run it locally on my second monitor at home, and more on this in a little bit. So why the obsession? Well, it's because 60% of maintainers, they're unpaid. 48% of them feel underappreciated. 80% of projects remain largely inactive, while 20% draw massive contributions. So what this means is most code bases contain outdated components. I'll also be repeating this a lot, so you've been warned. Another thing is 94% of web homepages, including OSS docs, still fail to meet fundamental web content accessibility guideline standards. Think about that, 94%. So solutions, pay more maintainers. I thought that was the answer. Over 14 years, I thought I figured it out, but here's the problem. Some don't want to get paid. They don't want the responsibility of honoring an SLA, a service level agreement. Another reason is some can't get paid due to international sanctions and banking restrictions. A lot of maintainers don't live in countries, or a lot of maintainers do live in countries that companies can't send money to because of these banking restrictions and sanctions. And then the second thing is deploying AI agents. Before we continue, I want to define AI agent. It's a software that autonomously makes decisions and acts based on data with little human input. You might have heard of some. There's AMP, Claude Code, Cline, Continue, Cursor, Windsurf, and many others. There's a lot more. It's a very crowded space, as you might know. I can't fit them all on one slide. So how are agents actually helping maintainers? Well, they help write and translate documentation. Remember, 80% of projects remain largely inactive. So that means the software as well as the documentation is out of date. So I think agents, and in this example, we see that agents are helping with that. They also help with issues and bugs. Christian solved over 60 issues on his open source projects in a weekend. I think that's great because, remember, 80% of projects remain largely inactive. Agents help bring joy back to maintainers that they gradually lose over time. Maintainers like Christian, as you saw in the last slide. I don't know how many maintainers are in the audience, but speaking for myself, when you first start a project, it's very special. It's very exciting. You can't wait to show it on social. You can't wait to see the stars go up. You can't wait for your first pull request. You can't wait for your first issue. All of those things are very exciting, but over the next weeks, months, and years, 80% will go into inactive. So what I'm getting at is agents. Agents can also help with accessibility. 94% of homepages still fail to meet fundamental WCAG standards, and this is a great use case for agents. PK is a dev that wrapped Lighthouse, a dev tool for improving the quality of web packages, into an MCP server. It plugs directly into agentic coding workflows. Remember this from earlier? Well, it has some accessibility issues, and I'm going to show you how I fix them with an agent with PK's MCP server.
Hello, ATO. This dashboard tracks the most important open source projects powering the internet. It monitors last commit, active contributors, WCAG score, and the project's homepage, as well as the OpenSSF best practice badge. Let's take a look at how an agent can help make this dashboard more accessible. First, what we're going to do is open up Lighthouse, and we're going to analyze the accessibility. As we can see here, there is an 80% accessibility score, so I think there's room for improvement. What we'll do is open up VS Code, and we're going to ask an agent, I'm asking it to use the Lighthouse MCP server to identify issues using subagents. All right, so it says the score is improved. It added alt text to badges and removed hidden docs links, as well as labeled the search input box. Let's run another test from Lighthouse. All right, so now we can see the accessibility is at 93%, which is awesome. That is a really great way of showing how easy it is to make the web more accessible and hopefully take that 94% number of web pages that fail to meet accessibility standards closer to zero. Thank you.
All right, so recap. Many maintainers are unpaid and they feel underappreciated. Most code bases contain outdated components. Web homepages often fail accessibility standards. AI agents can help automate tasks maintainers hate to do, and results include sustainable projects, a secure supply chain, improved accessibility, and most importantly, bringing joy back to maintainers. Thank you so much. I want to thank the data folks, the people that brought the data, so Tidelift, WebAIM, Tom Menz, and Matthew Goman. I butchered your name, I apologize. Yeah, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me or send me a DM on X. Thank you.